I want to tell you about Chaim. He came to me with nothing, no properties, no experience, no landlord contacts, no savings. He gave himself 12 months to make this work. He said if this didn't work in 12 months, he's going to focus on his career. In his first 6 weeks, he secured 9 units, and 2 years later, he now has over 60, built entirely without owning a single property, without paying rent on a single property, without paying deposit, and without begging a single estate agent. That's not luck. That is a system. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that system works. Now, if you've been looking into Airbnb and thinking, I can't do this because I don't own property, I haven't got savings, I haven't got the right credit score, this video is going to change how you see things completely. And by the end of it, you're going to understand exactly how the landlord partnership model works, why landlords across the UK are actively looking for people right now, and the 3 things that you need to get your first deal done. None of which is a mortgage, none of which is a big lump sum of cash, so just stay with me. Now here's how most people actually come into this. They hear about Airbnb and they think, well, I want a piece of that. Then they hit a wall, because the first thing everyone tells you is you need property. You need to own it, you need to rent it, and then sublet it. And to do rent to rent properly, you need to find a landlord who's willing to let you do that. You need to pass a credit check, you need to put down a deposit, you need to cover the first month's rent and furnish the whole place. And then hope you get enough bookings to cover all of it. That's before you've even made a single penny. I know this because I tried it that way at first. For 2.5 months, estate agents just flat turned me down. Landlords are not interested. Money's going out, nothing's coming in. I've got bad credit, no savings to spare, no track record. But then I asked myself a different question. Not how do I make rent to rent work, but based on my actual situation, how do I make this work? This being Airbnb. That question changed everything. Now here's what I figured out. When I worked as an estate agent, we didn't rent properties from landlords to then sublet them. We managed them on behalf of landlords. They kept ownership, we handled everything, and we got paid a percentage of the rent. So I asked, well, why can't I just do the exact same thing but with Airbnb? But it turns out you can. And the biggest operators in the service accommodation space, they're already doing it. They just don't talk about it. So here's how it works. You find a landlord in the right location, you go to them and say, I will set this property up and run it as an Airbnb. I'll handle the listings, guests, the cleaning, the management. You keep ownership, you don't lift the finger. They say yes, you run it, and you split the profit. No deposit, no monthly rent to cover, no credit check. You bring the knowledge in the system, they bring the property, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Well, why would the landlord ever agree to that? That's a great question. Let me show you. Landlords in the UK are under pressure right now in a way that they've never felt before. Mortgage rates have gone up, which means their costs have gone up, but their profits have gone down. There's more regulations, more tenant rights, more risk, and that long-term rental model that used to work 20 years ago is starting to really hurt them. And here's what most people don't realize. Most landlords already know Airbnb makes more money. They've seen the numbers. They know that in the right location, short-term lets generate double, sometimes triple what a long-term tenant pays. But they don't know how to run it. If they did, they'll be doing it already. And they're not going to learn how to start optimizing listing, managing guests, handling pricing, surviving the low season. Property is their investment, not their job. The same way you pay an investment banker to manage your portfolio, landlords pay professionals to manage their properties. Letting agents have done this for decades. They don't rent from landlords and then sublet. They manage on behalf of landlords. This is not anything new. And then they just take a percentage and everyone wins. We do the exact same thing, but just for short-term lets, like Airbnbs. The first landlord I ever did this with, his flat is in Elephant and Castle. We've still got it till today. The flat was sitting empty for 2 full years. His previous tenants, they just stopped paying rent. They punched holes in the wall. They took doors off the hinges before they left. They were getting crazy. Now him and his wife just locked it up and they walked away. I explained what Airbnb guests actually are versus tenants. You know, they get vetted properly. There's no long-term rights to the property. We take security deposits. And then I showed him the numbers, what that flat in that location could realistically generate every single month. He signed within 2 days. My first month, £1,000 from a property I didn't own. Not a single penny of my own money went into that deal. By the way, I've put the exact outreach scripts and the full location research process inside my free 30-day Airbnb launch plan. Everything I'm talking about today is broken down step by step in there, and the link is going to be in the description, so just grab it. It's completely free. Now, let's get back to this. So if you don't need to own property and you don't need to rent property to get started, what do you actually need? 3 things. Number 1, the right location. This is where most beginners get it completely wrong. They look for a cheap property near where they live and then hope for the best. That's not how this works. You need to go where the demand already is, not where it's convenient for you. This is a business. We're trying to make money. Ask yourself, who is already traveling to this area and why? Is it business travelers, contractors near a hospital, or a big employer, let's say for example an airport? Is it weekend getaways near a city center or tourist spot? You've got to understand this information. And here's the key. You don't need to guess any of this. Airbnb and Booking.com are $1 billion platforms. platforms, they want your property listed with them. So they give you access to the data on how the other properties in any area are already performing. Use that data before you make a commitment to anything. The rule I always come back to is there are almost no bad properties in a great location, and there are almost all bad properties in a terrible location. Get the location right first, everything else follows. Now, number 2, you need a way to attract landlords without chasing them. And I mean this literally. Cold messenger landlords on Rightmove doesn't work the way people think it does. I know this, I've tried it. Estate agents were gatekeepers who are not interested most of the time. The shift that changed everything for me and my students is this: stop chasing landlords and start building a system that brings them to you. Because when a landlord finds you and reaches out to you, the whole conversation is different. You're not selling, you're not begging, you're choosing the right ones and the right properties. That difference increases the chance that you'll actually get a deal over the line. And when you do get in front of a landlord, you need to know exactly what to say. Don't open with, "Can I rent your property?" That just puts you in the weakest position possible. You sound like any other tenant, all right? Instead, open with this: would you be open to making more money from your property without any extra work on your side? Now you sound like a business owner that's bringing them an opportunity, not a tenant that's asking them for a favor. And then after that, you want to lead with the numbers. Show them what similar properties in their area are making on Airbnb right now. And you don't need your own results to do this. Just show them proof that the model is working. That's all that matters. Show them it's already working in their area for real people. The landlord doesn't need to believe in you yet. They just need to believe in the numbers. And once they do, the conversation becomes very easy. Now, here's how I frame it. Most landlords are making a fixed amount every month: £1,000, £1,500, whatever it might be in that area. What we do is we take that same property and run it as a short-term let or Airbnb. In most locations, if the number works, and that's always the first thing we check, we can typically generate 2 to 3 times that amount. You keep full ownership, you don't lift a finger, we handle the guest, the cleaning, the management, and then we split the profit. It's calm, it's clear, there's no pressure. You're not convincing them, you're showing them the logical next step. And don't be discouraged by no's. Some of the best partnerships I have today came from landlords who said no for months, because people say no because they don't really fully understand yet, not because the model doesn't work. And every no is just a yes that isn't ready yet. Now, number 3, the ability to run the property properly once you have it. Now, this sounds obvious, but it's where a lot of people just fall down. Getting the deal is one thing. Making the property consistently profitable is another. And you need to understand pricing, seasonality, guest experience. How to keep it booked in January when everyone else's calendar is empty. I made every mistake here early on. My first low season, it was horrible. I had no idea what was happening. I thought the good months would always just be that, well, this is just a great location, I'm just always gonna make money. I didn't adjust my pricing. I didn't change my strategy, and it cost me real money, and it cost my landlords real money. But once you understand how these seasons work and what adjustments to make, you have a serious edge over 90% of the people in this space, because most people just never figure that out. Now, none of these 3 things I just mentioned require you to own property. None of them require you to have a big lump sum. They require knowledge and systems. That's it. And if you want the full system, the location research process, the landlord scripts, the step-by-step process, it's all inside my free 30-day Airbnb launch plan, which is linked in the description below. Download it today. And if you found this video useful, then subscribe. I'll put out 2 videos every single week showing you exactly how to build a real Airbnb business in the UK. No nonsense, just what actually works. So if you want to see more of that, then be sure to subscribe below. I'll see you in the next one.